All right, it's time to get back to work. No way. How? Oh my God, how did this even get here? What is this? Oh, there's a note. I got this for you early, babe. Aw, sweetheart. I know you have been working hard, and the guy behind the GameStop said this was really good. The guy behind the GameStop. Okay. That was really sweet of her. Let's check this out. I'm going to divorce her. Hey guys, how's it going? Man, I'm sorry guys, but you're gonna have to deal with me being getting over this terrible funk that I've had for the past week. It's been pretty rough.
Ew. Yuck.
There has been a lot of buzz on the Switch 2. I mean, just recently, I've been seeing articles and people on YouTube talk about how they're supposed to have a reveal this week or a reveal next week and all that stuff. I mean, geez, it's like every single day we inch closer and closer to some sort of reveal. However, there is something that nobody else has been talking about. There was a bit of news that just slid underneath the radar without anyone noticing.
Impossible. Nothing gets past me.
If you're like me, then you're really looking forward to a new Metroid Prime game. Just as a reminder, we've had no new Metroid Metroid Prime games, since 2007. Yeah, that was 18 years ago, dude. So when Metroid Prime 4 was announced, everyone was rightly so very hyped for it. And many folks actually went out and immediately pre-ordered the game. And this is where some news just this week has kind of sparked some controversy. Because you see, those people who went out and pre-ordered Metroid Prime 4, they actually just had their pre-orders canceled. What? Now, why would that happen? And wait a minute. Could this mean... I mean, the timing is incredibly suspicious, right? I'm not the only one who thinks so.
It's a conspiracy.
That's right. If you haven't put it together yet, I believe that Metroid Prime 4 is actually going to be a launch title for the Switch 2. It just makes the most sense. Look, as many of you dads and other guys and gals and all that stuff, as you all know, I'm an old school gamer. And one of the biggest things that I remember from my childhood was Twilight Princess. And here's what's interesting about Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess was released on the GameCube, but it also was released on the Wii. And what's interesting is it was released on the Wii first, and then it came to GameCube about a month or so later. So Nintendo has released a game for two different consoles before. Keep that in mind as we go along. Also, I mean, it's kind of makes sense because if you remember looking back at the Metroid Prime 4 reveal trailer, everyone was talking about how, wow, it looked amazing, and how is the Nintendo Switch pushing these kind of graphics, and there's no way the Switch pushes this so hard. How is it possible they're getting this? It looks like Halo. Everyone was commenting the same thing. Man, this game looks great for the Switch. And guys, I'm here to tell you, it's because it's not for the Switch. It's for the Switch 2. Now, I know some of you guys could be like, but Papa Goron, there's some really good games for the Switch that have some really good graphics. Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. I mean, heck, there's even Metroid Prime Remastered. That looks really good. But there's something about these visuals and what they showed off for Metroid Prime 4 that's just spicy, you know what I mean? It looks really crisp. And the frame rate looks really good. It's very suspicious. So let's talk about those pre-orders being canceled. Here we have Game Rant, who, they're okay. they kind of go off the left field sometimes. But here they're saying, Why Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Amazon pre-orders being canceled isn't a cause for worry. The reason why they put this article out was simply because a lot of people were afraid Metroid Prime 4 was going to be canceled. And I mean, I would be too. I mean, this game hasn't had a mainline game, Metroid Prime, since 2007. And now here you have your hopes up for another one, and they're canceling pre-orders. Very suspicious, very weird. People obviously are not happy about it. It says here, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond has been anticipated for years now, and the recent cancellation of original Amazon pre-orders has surprised many eager fans. First announced back in 2017. God, 2017. That's holy crap, dude. Are you kidding? No way. This game has been announced since 2017. Yeah, it has had a really bad, just cycle. Bro, that's 8 years ago.
Ancient history.
Anyway, first announced back in 2017, was expected to be on the horizon, but the game's first round of production didn't go according to plan. Development on the new entry in the series was halted until Nintendo reignited its development in 2019. Now, 6 years later, the newest iteration of Metroid Prime 4 will hopefully be released sometime this year. It goes on to say, Metroid Prime 4's original production was stopped. There were gamers who had already pre-ordered the game. However, those who reserved the first run of Metroid Prime 4 have been receiving notifications that these pre-orders have now been canceled. So right here, it's talking about a Reddit user. They've had, their pre-order canceled. People are upset. People are worried that this means the game's gonna get canceled because it's had such a horrible production cycle. But we literally just had a trailer for this game in recent years, so I'm not too worried about it, right? But here's where people are thinking the same thing I am, that this is actually a Switch 2 launch title. Game Rant goes on to say, speculation about the Switch 2 has been more prevalent than ever. While nothing has been officially confirmed yet, Metroid Prime 4 could potentially be a launch title for Nintendo's next console. And if that's the case, these pre-order cancellations could be hinting at the company rearranging the game's launch details. Canceling such old reservations may point Nintendo to gearing up to finally make an announcement, since the canceled pre-orders are from the first incarnation of the game, and they are likely outdated anyway. So Nintendo actually making moves, even if it is through cancellations, hints at Metroid Prime 4 being at the forefront of the company's mind in some capacity. So I really think and agree here with Game Rant that I think this game is going to be a launch title for Switch 2. It makes the most sense. This is a huge game. It is incredibly hyped to people. I mean, this is going to be a game that I immediately buy. It's a Zelda, it's a Mario. Metroid has been in my life probably since I was a baby. My mom probably played Metroid when I was in her stomach, right? Metroid has been around forever and people love it. I mean, if you really want to get down to the brass tacks, it was one of the first games that you could play a female character as the main character, if you care about that sort of thing. Pretty freaking dope. So I really believe that this is going to be a launch title for the Switch 2. Everything kind of lines up to be that. And we may see the same scenarios we did back in the GameCube and Wii days, where you had the Twilight Princess version on the GameCube and a Twilight Princess version on the Wii. You could definitely see something like that happening for the Switch. I don't know if we're going to get exactly that, but I do think that if I were Nintendo, if it were me, and I was like, yo, I want to get rid of my old stock of Nintendo Switches, but I want to gear up next year to release this big bad Nintendo Switch console that, 2 console that everyone's looking forward to. How do I sell as many units as possible? Well, you put either a Mario out with it, a Zelda out with it, or a Metroid Prime with it. And I think the Metroid Prime is primed and ready to go.
Boy, here we go.
And the reason why they want that is because I don't know if many of you were around during the GameCube days. I keep going back to GameCube because, that was my time. I was Super Nintendo, original Nintendo, N64, GameCube. And when the GameCube launched, there was no titles, bro. There was nothing to play on that thing. So you had your GameCube. I just converted one of my GameCube controllers to the 8-bit Duo. I'm going to do a review on that kit here soon, so you guys are going to see that. So look forward to that. But man, you got the GameCube, and you were super duper excited to play it, and the only thing to play on it was Rogue Squadron. Now, that game was great, don't get me wrong, but there was no Star Fox games, there was no Metroid games, there was no Zelda games. You were just kind of waiting. And then the Zelda game that came out was Wind Waker, which, hey, look, guys, I love Wind Waker, okay? But Wind Waker was kind of a disappointment at the time. A lot of us were looking for like Ocarina 2. We were looking for a more adult Zelda. And we've gotten all that now. And Twilight Princess, it came out and basically saved that whole thing. But yeah, GameCube's launch was not great. It really, really struggled. So since then, Nintendo, when they come out with a console, they really want to try to have something there for you to play. Otherwise, it's not going to sell. It's not going to do well. And I think them having a launch title like Metroid Prime 4, something that everyone is probably going to buy if you're any sort of Nintendo fan, is really smart for Nintendo. Anyway, guys, I hope you're really excited like I am. Put down below what you're looking forward to the most about the Switch 2. I'm actually looking forward to see what Nintendo's doing. And in the terms of like peripherals, are we going to have like, I've seen things where it's like, oh, hey, it's going to be like a dual screen, like that would be really, really cool to have like almost a DS style thing that's a dual screen, or like an attachment to do that would be super dope. Put down below what you would like to see the Nintendo Switch actually to have. I know me personally, like once they really go like, hey, Metroid Prime 4 is coming out on this date, I plan to actually do a pretty cool challenge run and run through all of the Metroid games, because I really love Metroid, and I'll be honest, I haven't played them since 2007. So it would be a lot of fun to do a big run through all of them, kind of marathon it. So I'm looking to do that and kind of waiting for a date, to make that content for you guys. Anyway, guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel as best I can. I really appreciate you all. My name is Papa Goron. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.